So I wanted to hop on here real quick and share a tip on whenever you're wanting to upgrade reels from kind of your starter basic, combo package reels that you probably started with, specifically with bait casters. Now, I think this is a tip that'll help you save some money, and I think it's something that everybody should think about, but you probably won't like to hear it very much. The main thing that I would recommend whenever you're upgrading from that Black Max or that Speed Spool or whatever it is, a Quantum Pulse or whatever, and you're going to that next step of reels, I would totally skip over the like Daiwa CC80s, the CR80s, the Shimano KSs, the all the tournament whatever lines of lose. Like all of those, yeah, they're going to be all right, but they're going to break down quicker than a lot of your higher end reels, and they're never going to work quite as good. So my recommendation would be to go from that starter setup, the $50-$60 reel, and jump all the way up to about as much as you're going to want to afford. Now I'm not telling you go out and buy a $400 reel, but whenever you're done with that $60 reel and you're looking to move to the next step, I'd recommend skipping all that and trying to get your hands on like a Shimano Curado. These things, they're like 220, 280 depending on the model that you get. It is a pretty hefty investment, but it's going to last you for years and years and years if you take care of it, and it's going to be way nicer operating than the reel that you're currently working with. So that would be my ultimate recommendation. But if you're working on a budget and you can't do that, I've got some tips for you as well. So if you are looking for that next step up and you've got a budget of around that $100 mark, and you can't really go much higher, 100 to 150, then there's still some good reels to fit your options. The problem is in general they're just going to break down a little bit quicker than your higher end reels like a Tatula SV or your Shimano Curado or anything, in a higher price range than that even. They're going to operate almost just as well for the time being, but they're only meant to last a season or two, and it's not going to be something that you can just keep relying on year after year. You will have to replace them quicker. And some great ones in that kind of price range there that I'm talking about is like a 7 GF series reel. It's like a carbon composite frame with a lot of aluminum internals, but not super high quality internals. The GF series is the budget series from 7. So if you get one of them, they do operate great. They're a fantastic reel, but they're only going to last you a couple seasons. Same thing with like a Shimano SLX. They're great while they last. They just don't last forever. The opposite of that is like a Tatula CT. These things are right around that $120 range. They are out of the package. They feel kind of rough. They're never going to operate quite as good as a SLX or a 7GF or something like that, but they're going to last you forever. They're just a tank of a reel. I do regular maintenance to all my reels, but I'm still very surprised at how long this reel has lasted, and this has been my frogging reel, so it gets a lot of use, and two, it gets a lot of abuse. And it's still in fantastic shape. Everything still works great on it, and I've been using it for years. And this, I got this used off of somebody, and I paid $100 for the rod and the reel combo together. But if you bought this guy new, it'd be like $120. They're not very comfortable in the hand, and they're just a little bit rough, but you can't tear them up. So if you do want a really durable reel, then I would recommend this for that, $120 range. So if you are in that $100 to $150 range and you're trying to find a premium reel, like some kind of a next step up even above like the SLXs and the Tatulas and whatever, but you just can't quite afford it, I'd highly recommend getting on eBay and trying to find something like this. This is a Curado MGL that I got on eBay for like $150 a few years ago. And as you can see, it's almost in like new condition. It's got a little bit of rash, a little bit of scratches and stuff, just from regular use, but it's still almost in perfect condition, and I've fished it for several years myself. And like I said, I bought it for like $150 instead of paying $220, which is what they were selling for at the time. Another one, I just got this guy in the mail. This is a little bit older, but it's still a Curado. But this one is also almost in like new condition. I got this one just I don't know, a couple weeks ago for like 120 bucks on eBay as well. So if you guys are going on there and looking around trying to find a deal, I would highly recommend shopping around, not just buying the first thing that you see, because some of them are selling for too much and some of them are selling because they're a piece of junk. I'd highly recommend looking for like the used like new reels on eBay, so that way you're not just getting a piece of junk that somebody's already beat up too much. If you look at the rash on the outside, it often reflects the care on the inside. So if it's all beat up on the outside, it's probably not going to operate that well. So just try to be mindful of that. Shop around a little bit. Try to find something that it still appears to have a lot of life in it, and get a really high quality reel for a cheaper price. And the advantage of that is you can get the workability and the ease of use of the higher quality reel, as well as the longer lasting of the higher quality reel. Whereas like your SLX or whatever is going to break down pretty quick compared to these. So if you can, try to get your hands on a used Corrado. If you can't, then an SLX or a 7GF or a Tatula CT is a great way to go. But that would be my recommendations for whenever you're trying to upgrade out of your starter bait casters and get into something that's a little bit nicer, and it'll save you some money in the long run, so that way you're not buying disposable reels and having to throw them out every couple of years. So thank you guys for watching.